Hi. So a customer has just brought this car. He's saying that the light coolant level low, add content, keeps coming on. Now I don't know if you remember, about 3 years ago I made a video of this car. I sort of forgot about it, where I replaced everything. I had a thermostat fault, we changed everything, all the sensors, even put a brand new header tank which came with the sensor. So 3 years later it's just started coming back on again. Now the customer said he's already bought a level sensor, a level float sensor, which fits underneath the header tank, and he's fitted it himself, and the light is still on. Coolant level low, add content. So I've just bought another brand new header tank from Vauxhall, which comes with the float level sensor. So the customer, this is what the customer actually changed himself, and it still made no difference. That coolant level low, add content still keeps coming on, which is getting fucking irritating. So anyway, the only other option I was thinking is to just replace the whole header tank again. The only reason I was hesitating replacing it, because it's only been 3 years since I bought a brand new one. So I was relying on the part to at least last that long at least. Okay, so this is the one I replaced 3 years ago, as you can see it. If you look at my old video, you'll be able to see that I replaced it for a brand new one. So I'll pull the battery back a little just so I can get to here. So I need as much space as possible. That's it, that should do it. Okay, so I'll pull the header tank out. I'm just going to disconnect this. Just turn it anti-clockwise, this thing. First thing to do before you do anything, get it in and push the plug into the new sensor. That's the first thing, so that's out of the way underneath. Okay, so I've fitted the header tank in, put both the pipes, connected them both up, put the clip there, pushed it all into the slots so it's all nice and solid. I'm just going to push this battery back in now, because the reason you had to pull the battery back just to get it in, because you struggled to put this tank in because it sits really awkwardly into it. So I'm going to push the battery back in as much as I can there. Then this metal just pushes in. Okay, so I'm just taking it for a couple of miles drive road test. So far that coolant level low, add content hasn't come on so far, which is great. So it turns out it is that tank that was the fault. The actual expansion header tank was the problem. If you put a brand new genuine part, you wouldn't expect it to fuck up after 3 years, but what do you expect nowadays? The quality is just not what it used to be. So anyway, I just still don't understand what caused this, because you know that float in there, if you can see it, I don't know if you can see, it's the float in there. If you turn it upside down, it's not stuck or anything. All I'm assuming is something within that float. There could be like a metal or magnet or something, which when you put the actual sensor in, there's just some sort of it's just not signaling it or something that would be causing that to happen. But that's about it. I'm not an expert on it, but so yeah, if that ever happens, a coolant level low, add content, remember, just change this whole bloody thing. Do not just focus on the sensor, because there's a float built in within the tank. Just got this header tank, expansion tank out of a Vauxhall Insignia. It's similar as Vauxhall Astra, they're all the same anyway, same principle. Now if you look inside there, there's a float which goes up and down, so it's not necessarily always the sensor which is at fault. So what I'm going to do, I've just cut it, this is damaged anyway because I bought a new one. I've just cut it there. I'm going to open it up so I can show you what's inside it and how it functions. It's actually taking longer to cut through. I've gone through there because there's internal plastics within inside it as well, so it's not just the outer, it goes through. So I've gone through about there that much. I'm going to cut up to about again there that much. It should come off. Turn the whole thing. Yeah, that's it. What a crock, isn't it? Oh, look at the state of that. Look at all that involved in it, isn't it? As you can see how much what's involved inside it. It looked like this customer's got a head gasket problem as well. It's not too bad because you're not losing water for some, but this looks like it's on its way. This header tank had a leak, that's why I changed this header tank. But anyway, getting back to what the issue is. See this here? The issue in the Vauxhall Astra, we changed the float sensor from within, from underneath that sensor. But that's not the problem. The problem is this. Can you see this here? It's the float. Now if you look here out there, can you see that? It's obviously got a problem within that tank. That's why we're replacing it. So this is what the problem is. This is what causes the car to say coolant level low, add content. So this is, I would say 80% of the time now, is to do with the header tank, this expansion tank. So that's what's involved in it. And yeah.